As homebrewers, some of the early meads that we make don't always work out quite as good as we would have liked them to be. Usually we get better at mead making as we progress in our hobby, hopefully, but it can be quite common for some of your early batches not to be less than perfect. Now, it's not always a good idea just to pour all that bad mead down the drain. It's usually a good idea to put 1 or 2 bottles up on a shelf somewhere where you can forget about them and age them for a year or 2 years, 3 years, hoping that a little bit of age will improve all those bad parts that you wish you weren't there. Now, I have a few meads that fit that bill. So let's find out. Does age fix bad mead? Now, you may be wondering why I'm not filming in my regular area. Well, it's shortly after Thanksgiving dinner, and there's absolutely no reason why I'm not filming this in the kitchen. So moving on to bad meads that have been aged. I have me a gallon jug for spitting bad mead into. Got my little drinking glass. Got a can of Sprite as a palate cleanser and also to clean some of those bad tastes out of my mouth. And I have 4 meads that were absolutely gross when they were first bottled. So first we have a braggot, a dry Irish stout, fermented and sweetened with wildflower honey. Here's the recipe. The gross part about this braggot is that the ferment stalled. It stalled at about 1040. And when I bottled it, after bottle conditioning and all that, it was nigh undrinkable. But it was bottled on the 9th month of 2020. What's that? September. This was bottled in September of 2020. So it is about a year old now. Let's see if it changed at all. Got my handy dandy Cobra bottle opener. G.I. Joe. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Impossible to... Sometimes these things happen. That doesn't smell much better. Okay, let's see. Covered in braggot. It smells terrible. I'm almost scared to drink it. That's actually not too bad. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it good. I wouldn't choose to drink any of this. I probably won't drink the rest of that bottle, but it's not gag-inducing like it used to be. It tastes like, imagine a stout, a nice dark stout that's sweet. Add about half a cup of honey to that 1 bottle of stout and drink it. It's not very appetizing. But I will say that after a year in the bottle, this is no longer absolutely horrible. It's not good, but it's not horrible. So did a year in the bottle improve that braggot? Yes! We'll rinse this cup out now. This is one that I'm least looking forward to. Actually, I had to clean my poop. Horrible aftertaste from that first one. This is another braggot. I called it a bittersweet braggot. This was bottled on the 5th, January, February, March, April, May. This was bottled in May of 2020. So, about 18 months of age on here, and here's the recipe. The problem with this braggot, it also stalled. It stalled at 10:42. This was a 5-gallon batch, 5 ounces of hops. There's lots of hops in there. Maybe it wouldn't have been so gross if I would have added more hops, but it was very, very bitter and very, very, very sweet. And all those flavor profiles, they didn't go very well together. So, let's take a look, shall we? Ooh, ugh. Ugh. That smells ghastly. Ugh. Oh. I don't think I can do this. Yeah, this entire 5-gallon batch went down the drain. But I set aside this one bottle hoping that some age would improve it. But by the smell, I doubt it. I don't know if I can do this. It's gotten even worse. Oh my gosh. That's horrible. That is the worst mead I've ever drank, and like all the bitterness from the hops is gone. There was a lot of bitterness back in the day, but all that hops, ugh. It tastes like flat, sweet beer. Just get a beer like I guess a decent beer, like maybe a Sam Adams that's halfway decent. Let it go flat, warm it to room temperature, and mix it about 50-50 with honey. Ugh. And then pour something gross in there. Ugh. That's what that tastes like. I almost don't even want that bottle back. It's so nasty. It might have tainted the whole bottle. That is horrific. So did age improve that bittersweet braggot? No, it made it worser. Ugh. Next is Tej. This has been in a bottle since January, March, April, May. Since May of 2019. So 2.5 years? Was that 24, 30 months maybe? Right in a bottle? And let's see if I can get better with age. This is sweet. This is from the time when I was experimenting with mead, trying to find out just how sweet I like it. I love sweet mead, you know. Like dry mead is alright, but sweet mead is my forte. The sweeter the better. Now I was testing that theory during the time that I made this Tej, and a few meads came out a bit too sweet. I found the sweet spot is about 10-20. 10-30 is pushing it with a little bit of balance, but anything over 10-30, 10-40, 10-60, that's just way too much. I mean, unless, I'm sure you can balance out a 10-60 to something wonderful, but 10-20, 10-30, that's about what you're looking at. So, Tej, that is way too sweet. Smells nice. I think I added lemon juice to this. A dessert mead made with geisha wood with lemon juice added for balance. I think maybe I don't have the recipe for this. This was before I started to log all my recipes, you know, before I had my little logbook. So the only notes I have is the label I put on there. And I must have added lemon juice to balance all that sweetness, because it was just unpalatably sweet back then. That's not really bad at all. I mean, like, just like that first bracket, I don't think I would choose to drink this. It's way, way, way too sweet. And it's got this weird aftertaste. I don't know where that comes from. I think maybe the lemon juice reacting with the wood a little bit may give it that weird aftertaste, but it's not good, but it's not bad. It's definitely not horrible anymore. It's drinkable now for sure.
Way too sweet.
I might actually be able to finish that bottle. I do not think that bottle is going to get poured down the drain. I might mix it with a little bit of water or something maybe, but if I get drunk enough, I think I could enjoy that. So did Age fix the Tej? Yes! Next on my list, and last, is a mead that I wanted to work out so much. I wanted to make an absinthe flavored mead, like with licorice and wormwood and stuff, you know? And this was it. I originally called it Black Magic because I assumed it was going to be black, but it never went black. It just looks like mead. But here's the recipe. Now that is a 1 gallon batch. And if you're familiar at all with wormwood, you'll know that that is way too much wormwood. That's too much wormwood for a 5 gallon batch. That's too much wormwood for a 10 gallon batch. And when it's finally made it into the bottle and I gave it a try, it was so bitter that you literally couldn't drink it. You take a drink and you would pucker up, go. It was horrifically bitter, horrible. But I wanted this to work out so much, so badly. I wanted this to work. I wanted this to be a good mead. So I only had 5 or 6 bottles. So instead of pouring them down the drain, I put them all up on the shelf. So I have this bottle and 4 more, I think. Hopefully, it improved with age. This was bottled in July of 2020. 18 months. Let's see if 18 months has improved this. And if it hasn't, we can try another 18 months. Oh my gosh, that smells absolutely wonderful. I could just smell that all day. It smells like licorice, just glorious licorice.
I just want to stay here in this moment forever and smell that forever. Let's see how it tastes.
Now, before I made this mead, I named it Black Magic because I assumed they would go black. But as you can see, it looks just like any other mead. Except the red stuff. I'll tell you what, that is the most beautiful aroma I've ever smelled in a mead. It's wonderful. Let's hope it tastes that good too. Still bitter. Still way too bitter. You know, I've always, oh my gosh, it won't go away. That bitterness won't go away. You know, I've always read that bitterness from hops goes away with age, but bitterness from wormwood doesn't go away with age. And it's, you know, it lingers, too. It lingers. Ugh. It won't stop. It won't go away. Ah. How can something that smells so wonderful taste so bitter? See, now that I've tasted the bitterness, I can smell that too. It's a beautiful flavor. Now, I will say, it's not quite... Oh my gosh. Now, I will say, it's not quite as bitter as it was when I first bottled it, when I first tasted. The bitterness has mellowed out a smidgen, but it's still so bitter that it's almost undrinkable. Maybe I can make some sort of potpourri out of that, just get the aroma out of it, you know, somehow, but I can't drink that. That's and it lingers. Ugh. I can still taste that horrific bitterness. I can't even finish, guys. That's one to pour out there. Yeah. So did age improve the licorice mead? I'm gonna say no. It tastes almost the same now as it did when I first bottled it. Maybe that's like a preservative quality of wormwood. Maybe it might be good to explore the possibility of a tiny bit of wormwood preserving flavor in mead so it doesn't age and change, you know, but the bitterness has mellowed out a smidgen, just a tiny smidgen. But apart from that, it's almost undrinkable, so bitter. So no, age did not improve that. I guess we have 2 out of 4. Age improved the first bracket and the Tej, but it did not improve the bittersweet bracket. It made that even worse and didn't really do anything to the licorice mead. So I will say this experiment is inconclusive. I'll have to look more into this. See, if you take a good mead and age it, good meads become wonderful with age. Meads that aren't good but aren't bad are made good with age. But meads that are bad, age might not help them that much. I'll do this experiment again one day. Thank you for watching.